Assalamu alaikum and hello to my non-Muslim viewers. I'm going to make this video as short as possible, so we'll just get to it. It's commonly said that Jesus is God, according to Christians according to New Testament believing Christians. And the reason why that's not true is because the New Testament pages itself say something different, or the New Testament completely contradicts itself in various places in regards to who Jesus is. So when Muslims and Christians argue with one another regarding regarding who Jesus was, Christians will say the Muslim concept or the Quran or Islam's concept is wrong because the New Testament says Jesus is God, even though there's no clear indication in the New Testament that points to that conclusion. So I'm just going to be there's one verse I want to focus on that disproves that Jesus is God. If we read the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13, it says that God cannot be tempted. And again, this is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. Yet Jesus was tempted in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1, the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verse 1 to 2, in the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verses 14 to 15. And again, I'll be posting all the verses below. So if Jesus is God, uh, so so if Jesus is God, why was he tempted? Because God cannot be tempted according to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. Yet Jesus was tempted. So the conclusion here is that Jesus is not God because Jesus was tempted. And according to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13, God cannot be tempted. And again, this is found in the pages of the New Testament. This isn't some uh, this isn't some rejected book in the New Testament or some kind of apocryphal book. This is found in the any kind of New Testament, the NIV, King James, or whatever. Again, read the book of James, chapter 1, verse 13. It says God cannot be tempted. So, yeah, Jesus was tempted in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1, the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verse 1 to 2, and the book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 14 to 15. Thus, the logical conclusion here is that Jesus is not God, according to the standards of the New Testament itself. So it looks like the Muslim position is actually more truer or um, more in line with what the pages of the New Testament says, as opposed to what the Christians say that Jesus is God, he's the Son of God, he's the one and third of the Trinity. Thanks a lot.